Welcome to Lit Mode. This is second part of SBI Junior Associate Men's most important MCQs for GA, which is scheduled to happen on 31st of October 2020. If you are watching this video, then go to the first part and watch that also after the completion of this video, because in those videos we are discussing 20-25 questions, but in the discussion we are targeting at least 50 to 100 questions. So if you will give your 30 minutes of time, you will be able to complete at least 100 MCQs, which is not possible while watching any PDF or solving any quiz. So that's why this is very important, and if you have not watched the part 1, do go and watch that after this video. Now in this video I will discuss at least 25 MCQs, and that will again cover 100 MCQs at least. Now after the first video we got few beautiful reviews, and one of this is, as Piyush saying, he thinks that around 10-12 questions will come from part 1 video only. So if you are finding a way why you should watch part 1, then you can go, as we have got a review from one of our aspirant, and I have also commented that hope your word comes true. So that's the beauty of the part 1. Now another subscriber said that, sir, our health health issue is not fine, and that's why she is not able to complete everything from all those materials in the market. So she's our first time subscriber, and she's asking nothing but 25 marks in GA, only 25 marks out of 50. Okay, so what I suggested, that just revise our content at least 3 times and watch our YouTube GA videos embedded in those PDFs as well as live GK quizzes on YouTube. And the good news is that tomorrow also we will have a continuous session of multiple hours in which we will discuss many things, and you will again gain from that knowledge. That will be on YouTube only. So from these 2 reviews I am also happy to say that yes, we are doing good, and we are creating everything which is possible to secure at least 30-35 marks for you in the real exam. So don't take tension, and you have not more than 30-40 hours now, and in those 30-40 hours you can't read more than 50 pages of PDF and solve quizzes. That's it what you can do. You can't go for 100 pages PDFs, and that's why I'm saying you that just trust on us and just keep revising and just solve those questions which are provided in videos and on our website. Now moving forward, I will try to justify my statement by 2 scorecards. These 2 scorecards of our subscriber RBI Grade B 2019 last year. So people complain that is 90% scoring 90% is tough in GA section. So in whole banking exam, RBI Grade B is an exam in which GA is asked of 80 marks. Okay, so the weightage of GA is 80 marks, around 40% weightage. In no other bank exams the weightage is this much. So in this exam you can see the guy scored 73 marks and overall 148 marks, around 148, and easily qualified, and the cutoff was 122. So what I want to say, that scoring 90% is more than enough, but how to do that? That's hidden in the second scorecard. You can see the direct statement of that guy. This guy was working in Infosys Bangalore, and he was getting no time to revise the content, and hardly 2 to 3 hours or 4 hours for self-study because of a critical project or some deadline what he mentioned last year. And after the exam he just typed us on Messenger, Facebook Messenger, it's you Mr. Light, attempted 70, only 3 wrong, and didn't use any other material. So you can see this, didn't use any other material. कल आपका फीडबैक लिख दूंगा, tomorrow he will give the feedback. He is in train, feedback के साथ proof होना चाहिए. That's why I wait. So after exam he told that the exam went very well, and he's pumped up of at least 65 plus marks in RBI Grade B GA part, which is again around 80%. Okay, so going by that strike rate, if you assume, so in SBI also you can score 40 plus marks. So don't hesitate, don't think of 25, 20, 30 marks. You target for 40 plus, you can do it. And because GA is the first section, you have to make sure that you score good marks in GA, because that confidence will make sure that you perform good in further sections, which is quant, English and reasoning. Reasoning will open last. So in GA you have to make sure that you score good marks, and that's why I'm saying don't go for 1000 pages PDF, just revise our content. You can give multiple quizzes across various platforms. I'm not stopping you from going for quizzes, go for quizzes, but don't read too much content from here and there. Okay, that's my only point. And I have also justified this by showing a scorecard of a working aspirant in an exam where the weightage is 80%, 80 marks of GA, and guys are scoring 90% and 80% also, and these are working guys, you are full-time aspirants. So that's why I'm saying all this. Now, without spending too much time, let's jump to MCQ1. And before going to MCQ1, I want to declare that RRB PO clerk, which is scheduled in January, mains of RRB PO clerk, and RBI assistant, which is scheduled on 22nd of November. So both these exams crash course has been launched, and there you will get videos, quizzes, as well as PDFs for GK, financial awareness, as well as computer. So this course is also helpful for PFRDA aspirants. So do go to our website and check out this course. Now let's move to question number 1. Before going to question number 1, I want to say that there are few rules. I will open the timer for 20 to 30 seconds. So you have to type the correct answer in the live chat box, not in the comment, live chat box within 20 to 30 seconds, and then I will declare the correct answer. And there are 25 questions, so you have to score at least 20 plus marks. If you are not scoring 20 plus marks, go back to our PDFs and revise those content again and again, because all these 25 questions are picked up from our PDFs. So attempt these questions very seriously and try to not miss any question and correctly just solve every question. Okay, so excited for the first question? The first question is, real GDP growth in 2020-21 fiscal year is expected to contract by how much percentage? The options are 9.2%, 9.15%, 9.5%, 10%, and 9%. The timer has started, and you can comment in the live chat box the correct answer. The timer has already started. Attempt guys, attempt fast. 15 seconds passed. So yeah, time is up, and the correct answer is option C, 9.5%. So the correct answer is option C, 9.5%. So this question was picked from Impact PDF 5. RBI released bi-monthly monetary policy on 9th of October. So every 2 months, RBI MPC committee sits and provides the further what should be the stance on monetary policy. So seeing the inflation, which is 7.34% of September data, RBI decided to keep rates unchanged and forecasted 9.5% GDP drop in fiscal year 21. So 9.5% GDP drop is very important data, just remember it. Their inflation target range is within the targeted range of 4 plus minus 2%, that should be, but currently the CPI inflation is 7.34 due to the prices of mainly vegetable items and potato, onion and tomato. After that, government has also appointed Asima Goyal, J.R. Verma and Shashank Bhide as external members on this panel. So the trick is Asima and Goyal and Verma Bhide. Okay, so Goyal and Verma fighted with each other, and you have to remember the surname Goyal, Verma, Bhide. So that's the keywords here, and that's all about this. After that, there is one important point again, that open market operations should improve the liquidity and to keep liquidity conditions comfortable. Government has also enabled RBI to go for open market operations to raise fund, and they have also auctioned for multiple OMOs and raised too much amount of money, because government is under several distress due to financial issues. After that, IMF has there is important data from IMF. Now IMF has said that India's GDP to grow at 8.8% in 2021. So here the contraction is 9.5% by RBI, but IMF is saying that India's GDP will grow at 8.8% in 2021. So this is about fiscal year 20 by RBI, and IMF is saying about fiscal year 21. So in that year, our economy will be 8.8% growth, and that is twice that of Bangladesh at 4.4%. As a result, the economy is projected to contract by 10.3% in 2020. So IMF is saying that in fiscal year 20, the economy will contract by 10.3%, and RBI is saying 9.5%. So you can expect one question out of these, and later on also I will explain like few datas in which government has also mentioned that yes, like one rating is again important, IMF, after that RBI, and apart from that you have yeah, so don't go for every rating, Care rating and Goldman Sachs, everything. These data are more than important. So, and what is real GDP growth? When we take inflation into account, then it's real GDP, and when inflation is not into the account, then it's nominal GDP. So this much knowledge you gain from the first question of real GDP growth in 2020-21. So you have to remember two data, 95, 9.5% and 10.3%. One is by IMF, another is by RBI. Moving to the second question. Okay, so before moving to the second question, I want to mention the current rates which are unchanged. So repo rate is 4%, reverse repo is 3.3%, 35%, and MSF is 4.25%, and bank rate is also same 4.2%. CRR 3%, SLR 18%. And everybody knows that MSF and LAF, these two full forms are very important. So liquidity adjustment facility for LAF, marginal standing facility for MSF. So you have also learnt many full forms including OMO, MSF and LAF. So let's move to the second question. Again, financial awareness question. The RBI also announced an on-tap TLTRO. Raise 1 lakh crore in funds will be available under this facility for a period of 3 years. What's the second T in TLTRO? So you have to comment the correct answer, like what second T? I'm asking about this T. Okay, second T, TLTRO. So what's the correct answer? Option A, target, B, term, option C, 3, option D, total, and option E, targeted. So comment the correct answer, and the timer has already started. Ten seconds passed. 15 seconds. And the time is up. So the correct answer is option B, term. So you can see the definition of TLTRO here. It is nothing but targeted long-term repo operations. So first one is targeted, second one is term. Now what's a TLTRO? It's a tool that allows banks to borrow 1 to 3 years of fund from the central bank at the repo rate. So what happens that when banks take money from RBI at a fixed repo rate, now bank is not providing that money to the consumers and industrialists. So what happens, bank just can't park in the money in their chest because they have a cost of maintaining the currency in the chest. So what they do, they just go to RBI and park in the money with central bank at reverse repo rate. Now central bank also knows this fact. So what they did, they have launched a targeted LTRO, TLTRO. So you can just take the money from RBI for 1 to 3 year need. So it is a long term need. These all are tools to inject liquidity in the Indian economic system. LAF, MSF. What is LAF and MSF? These tools are to offer bank money for their immediate needs ranging from 1 to 28 days, because if you will see the definition also, liquidity adjustment facility. So to overnight adjust the liquidity facility, it's liquidity adjustment facility, and MSF is for shorter period, but for longer period, to stop banks from doing this repo reverse repo thing, RBI has launched TLTRO, and 1 lakh crore in funds will be available under this facility for a period of 3 years. So I think you are now fully aware about TLTRO, repo rate, reverse repo rate, CRR, SLR you already know, and NDTL is net demand time liability. So let's move to the third question, and I think you are gaining too much from these questions and you are enhancing your knowledge as well. So the third question is again a question from SEBI. SEBI has recently launched an app for grievances. Name it. Options are Digitex, Scores, Chunauti, Raise and Zenimax. So comment the right answer in the chat box. Timer has already started. And I have also provided 5 options because in the real exam you will get 5 options. That's why there are 5 options, and just try to comment the right answer. So the time is up, 30 seconds has passed, and the correct answer is Scores. So what is Scores? Scores full form is SEBI Complaints Redressal System. So S for SEBI, CO for complaints, RE for redressal, and S for system. So the correct answer is option B. Who is the chief of SEBI? Ajay Tyagi. Where is SEBI headquartered? It's headquartered in Mumbai. So the correct answer is scores. Now what is Digitex? Digitex is India's first B2B crypto trading exchange. Nowadays you are a lot listening about Industrial Revolution 4.0 tech like cryptocurrency, blockchain, AI, machine learning. So Digitex is India's first B2B, business to business crypto trading exchange. So if like Paytm wants to transact with Flipkart, so they can pay in Ethereum, Bitcoins, something like that. And Supreme Court has recently also overpassed RBI, where RBI and SEBI said that cryptocurrency is not valid in India, but Supreme Court has changed the stance, and we have to see that space what's our view on cryptocurrency and blockchain, because you can't run away from all this. Either you have to adapt or you can't run away from Industrial Revolution 4.0, and China, US, these countries are already leading from the front. So Digitex, and the news was from October only. Option C, Chunauti. So Chunauti is a next gen startup challenge contest. So Chunauti is a next generation startup challenge contest. And what is RAISE? RAISE 2020 Summit that was conducted by Indian government. The full form of RAISE is Responsible AI for Social Empowerment. So you have to remember this, Responsible AI for Social Empowerment. Okay. And IBM is to set up Center of Excellence for AI with government e-marketplace GEM portal, because you also know what happened in the 3 bills passed for farmers of India. Government just dissolved APMCs, means power of APMC is very less, and now e-NAMs are there. So similarly, government is also doing a lot in e-marketplace, e-NAM, GEM portal. So basically they are creating the digital infrastructure for those who are not financially aware, as well as those who are not too much literate, like our farmers, our MSME, entrepreneurs, and all those people. So RAISE 2020 Summit happened for the same, and the theme of RAISE 2020 Summit was AI for all. So this can also be asked, and you have to remember this, RAISE 2020 theme AI for all. Option 5 is Genimax. So Genimax is a company which was acquired by Microsoft, and Microsoft and AICTE is using this to empower students. So you have to remember all these 5 options also. These are keywords, and from these keywords a question can be expected on 31st of October. Let's move to the 4th question. If you are pumped up with the knowledge you are getting, just go to the like button and click the like button, and also subscribe for the part 3 of this series, as well as the strategy video for SBI clerk, which is scheduled to happen on 31st, day after tomorrow. So do like the button, do subscribe us, and let's move to the 4th question. All right. So the 4th question is Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution is. So recently Ram Vilas Paswan died, and he was holding the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. So who was made the new minister? Options are Amit Shah, Nitin Gadkari, Narendra Modi, Piyush Goyal, and Chirag Paswan. The timer has started, and you can comment the right answer in the chat box. So time up, and the correct answer is obviously Piyush Goyal, option D. Now from here I want to tell something to you. Like recently 2 big leaders of India died. First is Ram Vilas Paswan, and second Raghuvansh Prasad Singh. Both these politicians belong to a district in North Bihar, Vaishali. Vaishali is a very important district in Bihar, and that was the birthplace of Mahavir Jain and the knowledge place of Lord Buddha. So this place is very historical and famous in history due to Buddha, Jain, as well as Amrapali. Now Ram Vilas Paswan was the MP from Hajipur constituency. Like Vaishali is a district in that the population is 60 lakhs. So there 2 constituencies are there, Hajipur and Vaishali. So Ram Vilas Paswan was the MP from Hajipur, and Raghuvansh Prasad Singh was the ex-MP from Vaishali. He lost the election in 2019, and he was ex-MP from Vaishali. So Raghuvansh Prasad Singh was known for Manrega, and Ram Vilas Paswan hold multiple ministries, 11 ministries in last 30 years. Okay, so he was the MP from Hajipur. So these 2 obituaries are very important, and you have to remember these facts. And Raghuvansh Prasad Singh belonged to RJD, and Ram Vilas Paswan belonged to LJP. He was the founder of Lok Jan Shakti Party, and Raghuvansh Prasad Singh was the member of Rashtriya Janata Dal Party of Lalu Prasad Yadav. Moving to Piyush Goyal. Piyush Goyal, again, the smart guy from Narendra Modi team. Few ministers are doing very good, like Nitin Gadkari, Piyush Goyal, and few are also burden on Narendra Modi. Now, what other portfolios Piyush Goyal is handling? He's handling Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. He's also holding Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And after that, he's also holding Ministry of Railways and Deputy Leader of Rajya Sabha also. So if there is any Iron Man in the team of Narendra Modi, that's Piyush Goyal. So this much knowledge you gain from this slide. Let's move to the next question. Tej app. What's the new name of Tej app? The options are Paytm Mini, Amazon Pay, Phone Pay, Google Pay, and none of the above. So the timer has started and you have to tick the correct answer. So time up. It's an easy question. So the correct answer is option D, Google Pay. Google Pay is the new name of Tej app, and this is a wallet from where you can do UPI transaction as well as bank to bank transaction, and it is a mobile app which is for fast payment using UPI as well as other NEFT RTGS also. So Paytm Mini, now here are few options like Paytm Mini. So what is Paytm Mini? Recently a tussle happened between Google and Indian startups. Google directly charged 30% commission on whatever payment which is going to happen from Play Store. Means basically any app which is listed on Play Store, if you will do any transaction in that app, then 30% commission will directly go to Google. Now Vijay Shekhar Sharma got angry over this, and he wrote many articles in Indian newspapers, and he recently launched an app Paytm Mini, where any company can launch an app on Paytm Mini and no payment transaction will be charged. Why Paytm did this? Paytm is a payment gateway nowadays. Basically Vijay Shekhar Sharma is master of fintech space. He got the idea from Alipay and PayPal, and he used that idea to create Paytm. So now Paytm is a payment gateway, same like MasterCard, PayPal and Visa. So Paytm used that infrastructure to launch Paytm Mini. Apart from that, you also know Amazon Pay is the wallet of Amazon, Phone Pay is the wallet of Walmart and Flipkart, and none of the above is not valid over here. So this much knowledge you gain from this slide. Let's move to the question number 6. Excited for the question 6? Ready to answer this? So that's again not a tough question. Naval exercise Bongo Sagar between India and which country? So the options are Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Iran, Indonesia, and none of the above. So type the correct answer fast. Timer has already started. So the correct answer is Bangladesh. Now India and Bangladesh are having naval exercise because China is very aggressive, and they have also poached Bangladesh to break it away from India. You are seeing Pakistan, Iran, how China is using Pakistan, Iran and other countries like Nepal against India. Similarly, they are also targeting countries like Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. They basically poach these countries, give them too much of loan, and they just get trapped into the debt crisis. Like Sri Lanka is already crumbling under a debt crisis due to Hambantota port. Apart from that, Nepal, Pakistan, Nepal, these countries are going to face huge debt crisis. Means they are going to be the new colonial, means basically victim of neo-colonialism. That is basically economic imperialism or economic colonialism. So that's going to happen with these countries. So that's why India is also providing Bangladesh cheaper loans to win the trust. They are also doing naval exercises and just making sure that Bangladesh doesn't go away to China. Now few exercises happen like SLINEX with India Sri Lanka, ZIMEX with India Japan, and Dharma Guardian, Sinew Maitri, and also happened with Japan, Malabar with USA, Australia, Japan, Bongo Sagar you already know with Bangladesh, other exercise Sampriti also with Bangladesh, and passage exercise with Australia and Indian Navy. Anti-terror exercise Suraksha Kavach happened with Maharashtra State Police and Indian Army. So Suraksha Kavach, Maharashtra and Indian Army. So this much knowledge you gain from this slide. Let's move to question number 7. What's I in FITL? The options are India, interim, income, internal, and nota. Means none of the above. So the timer has already started and you have to guess the correct answer. What's I in FITL? Comment fast in the live chat box. So the time is up, and this question was asked on 18th of October in RRB SO exam. So the full form of FITL is Funded Interest Term Loan, or FITL. So what's the I in this? Interest. So the option which is correct is option E, nota. So I expect everybody has got this incorrect because none of the above was the answer, and Funded Interest Term Loan is the full form. Now what is Funded Interest Term Loan? What is this? So it is giving loan for repaying a loan. Nowadays banks, NBFCs are not able to pay the loan. So banks are providing, RBI is providing loan for repaying a loan. Hence a lender gives the borrower money to repay the interest component of the loan. Okay. So why should banks give loan to a company to repay its dues? Simple, to not turn down that loan into NPA. So balance sheet will be like, just look like rubbish. So to further undo the NPA, banks are providing FITL to the borrowers just to postpone the NPA, and it is interest on interest. So basically that's why it's also named as Funded Interest Term Loan. So funded means funding the interest, and term loan for fixed time they are funding the interest. So by this logic, I think you have to not rote learn FITL and you understood what I mean. Funded interest term loan. Term loan is for a time period, and funded interest is like the lender is funding the interest to the borrower for a fixed time. So that's the beauty of economics. If you break down and understand it, so you will get the whole crux of that in a very lucid manner. And that's what we are also doing in our SEBI grade A and RBI grade B full course. Descriptive, mock test, finance, ESI, everything is there. So if you are targeting SEBI grade A or RBI grade B, so do check out our full course and do subscribe that if you like that. Moving to question number 8. Excited for this? So SBI was established in which year? Now you have to comment the right answer. Options are in front of you. Timer has already started. So the correct answer is 1955, option D. Option D is the correct answer, 1955. Okay. Now what happened in 1955? Basically 1955 Reserve Bank of India took a 60% stake in Imperial Bank of India and renamed it as State Bank of India. Okay, so if that's the recent history, if you go back, then SBI was earlier Bank of Calcutta, founded in 1806 with Imperial Bank of India, making it the oldest commercial bank in the Indian subcontinent. The Bank of Madras merged into the other two presidency banks in British India, the Bank of Calcutta and the Bank of Bombay, to form the Imperial Bank of India. So Madras merged with British India and Bank of Calcutta and Bank of Bombay to create Imperial Bank of India, and then Imperial Bank of India was changed to State Bank of India because Government of India took control in 1955 and RBI got 60% stake in SBI. And now SBI is an Indian multinational PSB and financial service statutory body headquartered in Mumbai. SBI is the 43rd largest bank in the world, 43rd largest, and 236th in the Fortune Global 500 list. So these two facts are very important because you are going to appear in the SBI exam. 43rd largest bank in the world, 236th Fortune Global 500 list company. So these two facts are very important. Apart from that, the MD is, you know the name, Dinesh Khara and Atri. Sivanand Atri is the CFO and Dinesh Khara is the chairman. Now, what's the holding of Government of India in SBI nowadays? So it's 56.92%, and the mutual fund and UTI is 13.72%. So the biggest stakeholder is Government of India. That's why it's a government bank. Okay. So this is the fact you have to remember. So this much knowledge you gain from this slide. All right. Let's move to the next question. Ant Group, also the subsidiary Alipay is under Ant Group, Alibaba. So Jack Ma's company, this firm is getting listed on which stock exchange? So five options are there: BSE, Nasdaq, HKEX and SCE, Shenzhen Stock Exchange, and none. So you have to comment the correct answer. What's the correct answer? Timer has already started. 10 seconds passed. 10 more seconds left. Comment fast. What's the correct option? And the correct answer is option D, HKEX and SCE. Now you will be thinking, what is HKEX and SCE? So HKEX is Hong Kong Exchange and SCE is Shanghai Central Exchange. So Shanghai Central Exchange and Shenzhen Stock Exchange, there are two stock exchanges in China, Shanghai and Shenzhen, and Hong Kong is separate. That's a separate country which was given by Britain to China, and now China is trying to capture it. And similar like basically don't go into that, but yes, HK is different, and Shenzhen and Shanghai Stock Exchange is different. But this stock is getting listed on two stock exchanges at the same time. So this is a dual listing. So HKEX and SCE, Shanghai and Hong Kong, this is getting listed on two stock exchanges at the same time. Now more knowledge on this. $34.4 billion IPO is the largest stock market in the world as a debut. Okay, and this is the fastest growing Chinese fintech giant, despite risk of greater scrutiny at home and abroad. The dual listing, what I said you, the dual listing, first for Shanghai's Nasdaq style star market and Hong Kong, would value end at $312 billion. So this is a huge data. $312 billion. Okay, so this is around the total export of India is also around $312 billion. So you can just see how much worth this company, Jack Ma's companies is. And Jack Ma was the guy who was rejected by KFC also for a job to supply chicken. Okay, and Jack Ma is now here. So if you are at any stage, you are fighting for a SBI clerk job, either you are at age 21 or age 27, don't get tensed, don't get afraid of this life. Means whole life is in front of you. So just this is just an exam, so just go and kill this exam, and you can learn from Jack Ma how he did this, and worth $312 billion. And after this stock, Jack Ma's worth will be around $50 to $60 billion, and he will be the 10th richest in the world. And yeah, this much knowledge you gain from this question. And Ant Group and Alibaba is also the largest investor in Paytm. And due to the recent FDI changes, any investment coming from FDI from China or Hong Kong is scrutinized by Ministry of Home Affairs. First it will pass from Ministry of Home Affairs, then only any company can gain. So Ola, Zomato, Paytm, Dream11, these are suffering a lot from this issue. And you have also to remember the full form of FCRA, FRBM and FEMA, because all these are interlinked and very critical from FDI perspective. So let's move to the question number 10. And yeah, this is Jack Ma for you. So see his face. He struggled a lot. He's doing namaskar to all the aspirants. But yeah, the fact is he's having $60 billion of worth now. So if you are a budding entrepreneur or anyone who wants to do any kind of entrepreneurship in India and want to solve a problem basically, so you can read the story of Jack Ma and how he did this, and you will get lots of insight from here. Do that after 1st of November, because on 31st you have the exam. Moving forward, question number 10. The Reserve Bank of India Act will be amended to give the RBI powers to regulate the dash sector. So RBI Act was recently amended in the last parliamentary holding, which was scheduled last month, and that was amended to give the RBI powers to regulate which sector. So there are 5 options: small finance banks, NBFCs, HFCs, housing finance companies basically, NHB, National Housing Bank, and UCBs, urban cooperative banks. So type the correct answer. This is a tricky one. Yeah, I think you will be able to solve this question correctly. The timer has already started. Attempt fast, guys. So the correct answer is NHB. The correct answer is option C, HFCs. Now sector was asked. So what is sector over here? A small finance bank is a bank. NHB is also again a bank. They are regulating, but they are not sector. So HFC is a sector because housing finance companies, that's totally a real estate sector. So that's why option C is correct. And why option C is correct? HFC was under NHB earlier, but what happened recently? Government of India got the full subsidiary of NHB, and RBI's stake was diluted in NHB. Now Government of India is the owner of NHB, and in the last amendment HFC was withdrawn from NHB and given to RBI. So RBI will do the HFC functioning and everything they will regulate. Why this happened? Because after COVID, real estate is struggling a lot. Real estate produces maximum workforce. Okay, they give maximum job to people. Now real estate is suffering a lot, and due to the pressure on government, around 5-6 minister in Indian government died recently, from Anant Kumar to Ramvilas Paswan, Manohar Parrikar, Sushma Swaraj, Arun Jaitley. So government is lacking a lot of things. RBI has the manpower, so RBI will do the financing and check everything of the real estate sector, and HFC, housing finance companies, comes in the real estate. NHB, the father of NHB is Government of India. HFC is not under NHB now. So this much data you get from here. I think you are now pretty clear about HFC, NHB, and why HFC is under RBI. So let's move to the next question. Question number 11. Base year of consumer price index for industrial workers was revised from 2001 to which year? Option A 2010, option B 2011, option C 2016, option D 2019, option E 2015. The timer has already started, so try to attempt this question. Ten seconds has passed. 15 seconds. Time up. So 20 seconds have passed, and the correct answer is option C 2016. So recently government has changed the base year for consumer price index CPI for industrial workers, and it was revised from 2001 to 2016. Now why this was done? So see, CPI is already around 8%, and government has to do DA and all those salary calculation based on inflation. So basically that's why they have revised it from 2001 to 2016. Now the inflation in last September was 7.34%, you already know, and this is due to the high price of vegetables, pulses, and non-veg product like meat and fish. And yeah, so that's all what you need to know. And one more important fact, inflation of India is now calculated based on CPI. So consumer price index decides what the inflation of India will be. Earlier it used to be WPI, wholesale price index. What's the difference between CPI and WPI? WPI is like if a Parle-G truck gets out of the Nasik factory, then the cost of that Parle-G is 2 rupees. But when it reaches you, whether in Kerala or Delhi or Bihar, so the price goes up to 3 rupees or 4 rupees. So what you pay is consumer price index, and what's the price at the exit of the factory is wholesale price index. So that's the basic difference. Otherwise you will go into the technicality. It is very huge, and it's totally mentioned in our RBI grade B full course. Moving to the question number 12. The Battle of Belonging. That's a book which is authored by, options are in front of you. Option A Arundhati Roy, option B Gauri Khan, option C Shashi Tharoor, and option D is Claude Arpi. Option 5 is Glenn McGrath. So you have to comment the correct answer in the live chat box, and 10 seconds has already passed. So comment fast the correct answer. And yes, the correct answer is option number C, Shashi Tharoor, the MP from Kerala, more particulars I think Thiruvananthapuram. And The Battle of Belonging is a book on nationalism, patriotism, and what it means to be Indian. Shashi Tharoor. So Shashi Tharoor has a different ideology. Many a time he also goes away from the ideology of Congress. He supports also Narendra Modi. He criticizes also the Indian government on several facts. So he is kind of a leader who is different from what kind of leaders we already have. But he's also controversial figure due to the Sunanda Pushkar death controversy and all those issues. So meanwhile, you need to know that Battle of Belonging is a book by Shashi Tharoor. Okay, so The Battle of Belonging, Shashi Tharoor, and you can also trick it by Shashi Tharoor, Sunanda Pushkar, Belonging. So belonging, wherever it will come, Shashi Tharoor, just mark the correct answer. Arundhati Roy recently wrote a book, Azadi, Freedom, Fascism and Fiction. Gauri Khan recently wrote a book, My Life in Design. Okay, so My Life in Design by Gauri Khan. Arundhati Roy wrote Azadi, Freedom, Fascism and Fiction. Claude Arpi, she wrote a book, the name was End of an Era, India Exits Tibet. Now this question is important. End of an era, India exits Tibet. Due to the LSE class, this question becomes important for SBI. So Claude Arpi wrote End of an Era, India exits Tibet. After that, option 5 is Glenn McGrath. So Glenn McGrath was there to confuse you, and that's not the correct answer. So this much knowledge you gain from this question. Now, if I talk about end of an era, India exits Tibet. So in this book, it's mentioned that India's exit from Tibet was a mistake by India. That's why if India has got the Tibet card, then India could have pushed China on back foot, because India has no geographical border with China historically. India had the historical border with Tibet, but China controlled Tibet. Now that's the autonomous region of People Republic of China, but no government confronted China in that. Nehru said Chini Hindi bhai bhai. After that, Atal Bihari Vajpayee also did a mistake by supporting China on one China policy. And now we are seeing Narendra Modi also did what with Xi Jinping, and that was a mistake, and now we are facing the repercussions. But still we have time, using Quad and improving our infrastructure and our military, and working on our human capital, focusing on health, education, we can again become a power, and we can again fight with China. But yeah, single-handedly India can't handle China, either from trade perspective or from military perspective. So it should be with US, Japan, Australia, South Korea kind of alliance only. So let's move to the question number 13. So again, before moving to question number 13, this is a gentle reminder for all who is going to appear on 8th of November PFRDA or 22nd of November RBI assistant. So on 2nd of November, we will also launch the impact PDF for RBI assistant as well as PFRDA. RRBU PO and clerk is scheduled in January. So we will release the PDFs 3 weeks earlier of the mains exam of RRB PO clerk. But yes, our full course is going on. In that you will get PDFs, videos, quizzes. So you have any doubt, comment in the comment box. If you have any doubt, mail us. If you have any doubt, connect with us on Facebook, Telegram, YouTube, anywhere. Let's move to the question number 13. Okay, so that was the question number 12. The question number 13 is very important. This may come in this exam. That's my prediction. India's rank in global hunger index. What's the India's rank in global hunger index? Options are 75, 94, 58, 4, 151. So 5 options in front of you. Timer has already started. Try to comment the right answer. Okay. And that's not a tough question. You should comment the correct answer fast. Yeah, and time is up. So the correct answer is India ranked 58. Option C is the correct answer. Option C is the correct answer. So first let's talk about global hunger index a little bit in detail. So global hunger index was published recently, and India ranked 94 among 107 countries. Okay, so the correct answer was option B, 94, and Bangladesh ranked 75. So India performed very poorly. And why India performed very poorly in this? Because we have a lot of corruption issues. We have food security bill, we have the midday meal yojana, we have Ayushman Bharat, we have Indra Awas Yojana, we have this scheme known as Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So here you can see all 5 parameters has been covered through these schemes: food security bill, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Indra Awas Yojana, limited access to healthcare, Ayushman Bharat. But all these schemes on the ground, it can't be just launched from a room in Delhi and can be implemented in a remote village either in Jharkhand or in Karnataka. The local state government, apart from that, local people, local politicians, everybody should be aware. And there is the issue. Few states are doing well, few states are not doing well. So the political ideology of Mahatma Gandhi was to decentralize the Indian political system. Now that's decentralized, but at the ground as well as at top, we have lots of corruption issues. That's why only 2 out of 4 people gets the proper treatment what they should get. They only 50% people get proper nutrition, proper sanitation, proper housing, and then the main reason is corruption. That's what I can see from where I am living, from where I get to know from my friends, people in the government jobs, and all those peoples. So that's about World's Hunger Index. Let's talk about what is 75 here. So 75 is Bangladesh rank. What is 58? 58 is India's rank in Global Passport Index. So Global Passport Index, India's rank is 58. Apart from that, what is 4? So 4 is India's rank in Asia Power Index. Okay, so Asia Power Index, India's rank is 4th. US topped Asia Power Index, and that's released by Sydney based Lowy Institute. And Asia Power Index measures resources and influence to assess the relative power of states in Asia. It's an analytical tool that ranks 26 countries and territories. And after that, you have a rank known as 151. So what is 151? That's the Indian rank in commitment to reducing inequality index, CRII, commitment to reducing inequality index, and that released by Oxfam. Okay. Another ranking news, Indian Tourism Statistics 2020. Uttar Pradesh emerges as top destination in 2019. So UP tops as India's top destination of tourism. And after Ram Mandir and Ayodhya, you will see again UP will maintain their place. So Taj Mahal and Ram Mandir both are in UP, and UP is going to be a top destination for a long time. Apart from that, India International Migration Outlook Report, India's ranked second, released by OECD. OECD is headquartered in Paris, France. NCRB data, Delhi topped in crimes against women. Recently, we saw a Nikita Tomar incident also, and I personally assume that there should be a tight law, and in those cases, the victim should be hanged within 1 month. So, without women empowerment, again, I want to focus over here. Global Hunger Index is linked with women empowerment. How it is linked? Like India has only 9% women participation rate in workforce, urban women's. So only 9%. Bangladesh has and Pakistan has more workforce of women in their net workforce. So that way we are not going to boost our GDP. Whenever women is educated, women is working, so that family will be strong, that family will be stable, that will have less child. So obviously you will see a hike in the GDP, you will see a better society. And if you are not going to teach women, if you are not going to focus on girls, then society will suffer, state will suffer, nation will suffer. That's why you see like in states like Bihar, which was very backward few years back, nowadays government is providing cycles to girls, midday meals. After that, for passing 10th, 12th graduation, they are giving monetary benefits. That's only to empower women. But these incidents like what happened in either Hyderabad or Hathras or Ballabgarh or Delhi. So these incidents are very bad, and that basically stops also multiple FDIs, and companies invest less, because if Delhi is not safe, so which city will be safe? I don't know the answer. So moving from there, IIM Ahmedabad topped from India the QS Global MBA rankings, and Indian Happiness Report 2020 was recently released. Mizoram was the most happiest state. So one of our subscriber is also from Mizoram. So a good news for you. I can't disclose the name, but yeah, Mizoram has got the most happiest state ranking. Uttarakhand and Odisha is at bottom. And Anemia Mukt Bharat AMB index, Haryana topped. So I have almost covered every topic and every point from here, the ranking. So you can easily score a couple of marks from the ranking and indices. So you can download this video also whenever you are going to the center, in the bus, in the auto, in your car. You can just listen my voice and you will easily score 5-10 marks from this video itself. So just download the video and watch offline when you are going to the center, video 1, video 2 also. So moving ahead to question number 14. Who is the new chairman of TRI? You have 5 options in front of you. Comment fast the correct answer. Timer has already started. So time is up, and the correct answer is PD Waghela. Option E is the correct answer. Now, earlier Ram Sevak Sharma was the TRI chairman, and TRI was very much in news due to Jio and telecom sector crisis, 5G bandwidth and all those issues. Shekhar Kapur, option B. Shekhar Kapur is the head and president of FTII, Film and Television Institute of India. So from Shekhar Kapur you should know FTII, okay. Rajesh Khullar is again the head of basically ED of World Bank. So Rajesh Khullar is ED of World Bank, which is headquartered at Washington DC. Sameer Khade, he is an IAS and ED of ADB Manila. So ADB ED, who is the ADB ED? Executive Director Sameer Khade, and ADB is headquartered in Manila. Manila is the capital of Philippines, and the currency you should know. You can comment in the live chat what's the currency of Philippines. Apart from that, PD Waghela, you know, PD Waghela is the new chairman of TRI. Apart from that, Few major appointments. Tendulkar is the brand ambassador of Paytm First Games, and NS Tomar has got the additional charge of Food Processing Industries Ministry following Harsimrat Kaur Badal resignation. So NS Tomar, MP from Madhya Pradesh, Murena. So he has got the additional charge of food processing industries. Harsimrat Kaur Badal resigned after the Kisan bills were passed. And apart from that, Andorra is the 190th member of IMF. Lewis Hamilton is the new brand ambassador of LG. Khushi Chindalia is appointed as regional ambassador for India by UNEP, United Nations Environment Program. And Harvard Business School Dean is Srikant M. Dattar. NST President Paresh Rawal. Okay, so these are major appointments from the months of September and October. So all these are from Impact PDFs. I am telling you all these facts from Impact PDFs. So if you are not subscribed, still you have around 30-40 hours and you can consume 50-60 pages in 30-40 hours. So go for our product. Don't hesitate. Just go for it. Question number 15. SEBI constitutes technical committee on social stock exchange under the chairmanship of whom? Options are in front of you. Timer has already started. So comment the correct answer. Who is heading the technical committee on social stock exchange? You have got 30 seconds. Comment fast the correct answer. And the correct answer is option H.K. Bhanwala. So option C is the correct answer. H.K. Bhanwala, who was earlier the chairman of NABARD. So technical committee on social stock exchange. So basically what happens in social stock exchange, any company can invest in basically non-profit organizations and they can get the tax rebate, and that money will be basically used for CSR responsibility and greenery of environment and all those things. So that's basically for social stock exchange. So for social purpose, all those companies listed will only for social purpose. So H.K. Bhanwala, Harsh Kumar Bhanwala is heading the committee. Question number 16 is in front of you. Who has been granted the authorization to set up and operate Bharat Bill Payment Operating Unit BBPOU under the Payment and Settlement System Act 2007 from RBI. Now BBPOU full form was asked on 18th of October in RRB SO exam. So this is again important, and the correct answer you have to comment in the live chat. 30 seconds you have got. Comment fast. Time is up, and the correct answer is Vakrangi Limited. So Vakrangi Limited is a company which provides you voter ID card, election card, Aadhaar card. All the technology driven work done by Government of India is handled by Vakrangi Limited, option B. And this is also one-stop shop for availing multiple products and services, and it's operated from Singapore and Bombay. So that's the correct answer. Let's move to question number 17. Who is PM of New Zealand? So you have got 5 options. Comment the correct answer. Who is PM of New Zealand? Timer has already started. Saad Hariri, Moktar Wan, Alexander Crew, Jacinda Ardern. 10 seconds has passed. So time up. So the correct answer is option E, Jacinda Ardern. Jacinda Ardern is the correct answer, and the capital of New Zealand is Wellington, and the currency is New Zealand dollar. And who is Saad Hariri? So Saad Hariri is the Prime Minister of Lebanon. Okay, Lebanon's capital is Beirut. Who is Moktar Ouane? Moktar Ouane is the Prime Minister of Mali. So who is the Prime Minister of Mali? Moktar Ouane. Okay, and do remember the capital and currency of Mali also. Saad Hariri, Lebanon. Okay, Lebanon. Alexander Crew is the Prime Minister of Belgium. Belgium's capital is Brussels, and Brussels is also a headquarter of major organization which you should know. Jacinda Ardern is the chief of New Zealand, and she is the Prime Minister of New Zealand. She has got the second term prime ministership, so that's very important. And yes, this is very important question from SBI perspective. Moving to question number 18. So I need to fill my water bottle, so I will take a 1 minute break, and this is the question in front of you. So read the question and comment the right answer. I will be back in 60 seconds. So you have 60 seconds to answer this question. I hope you all have commented the correct answer, and the correct answer is obviously SBI. So from here you can see like SBI has tied up with Google Pay, and now they can use NFC as well as Bharat QR code, and using physical credit card also they can do the payment. And SBI has 22141 branches and this much 58555 ATMs. Now this question may be asked last year, and last year we saw that SBI asked the total number of branches and ATMs also. Khara is the chairman, 56.72% stake of the Government of India. Atri is the CFO. Yes Bank 49% stake SBI holds in Yes Bank. So this much knowledge you gain from this slide. Okay, let's move the question number 19. Which country has signed agreements like Beka, Lemua, IS and Comcasa with the USA? The options are in front of you: Pakistan, Israel, Taiwan, Japan and India. You will get hardly 10 seconds for this question. This is a very easy question. So comment the correct answer in the live chat box. And the correct answer is obviously India. Now recently 2+2 dialogue happened with India and USA, and BECA was signed. The full form of BECA is Basic Exchange and Cooperation Agreement. Basic Exchange and Cooperation Agreement. Full form of LIMUA is Logistics Exchange and Memoranda of Agreement. COMCASA is Communications Compatibility and Security Agreement. Industrial Security Annex is ISA. So all these has been signed off by USA with India. Basically US was partnered with Pakistan till Osama bin Laden was found in Abbottabad, and after that USA is hanging more towards India also because China is getting stronger. That's how geopolitics work. In geopolitics no country is a permanent friend or permanent enemy of any country. So these schemes has been done, and this agreement has been signed by India and USA. Now again an important thing you can see in the picture: Rajnath Singh, India's defense minister, and Jaishankar, S. Jaishankar, our Minister of External Affairs, Mike Pompeo, the Secretary General of America, and Mark Esper. He's the guy Mark Esper. So basically Mark Esper is the same as S. Jaishankar, and he is same as Mike Pompeo. So this may be asked who was the fourth guy in this. So Mark Esper, you have to remember the name Mark Esper. Moving to the 20th question. Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs launched the Application Programming Interface API integration between the PM Swanidhi portal and eMudra portal of which bank? Options are Bob, PNB, ICICI, Bandhan Bank and SBI. You have to comment the correct answer. 5 seconds has passed. Time is almost up. So the option E, SBI again. So PM Swanidhi scheme is for vendors and all those small entrepreneurs who are on street. So they will get interest subsidy at 7% per annum or regular payment of loan cashback up to INR 1200. So this is for recovering them from the COVID-19 crisis, and eligibility for enhanced next tranche of loans only they will be eligible if they repay the loan. So SBI has done this, and PM Swanidhi. So you have to know also the full form of Swanidhi. What's Swanidhi? The Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. This ministry is under Hardeep Singh Puri. Let's move to the question number 21. World Economic Outlook is released by whom? So options are IMF, World Bank, WIPO, UNCTAD and OECD. Comment the correct answer fast. 5 seconds has passed and the time is up. The correct answer is option A, IMF. So World Economic Outlook is released by IMF. In the first question I mentioned that the IMF has released that India's economy is going to contract by 10.3% in fiscal year 2021. So why World Economic Outlook is important? Because IMF released this. Headquartered in Washington, Kristalina Georgieva is the chairman. Geeta Gopinathan is the chief economist from India. World Bank headquartered is Washington. The chairman is David Malpass. WIPO and UNCTAD headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland. OECD is headquartered in Paris, France. So this much knowledge you gain from this particular slide. Let's move to the question number 22. Which is not the part of Quad? Very easy question. Come on, comment fast. USA, India, Australia, Taiwan and Japan. 5 seconds have passed. Time is going to be up. So the correct answer is, okay, so there is a flag missing. That flag is of Taiwan. So basically India, Japan, Australia and USA is part of Quad, and Taiwan is missing. So the correct answer is option D, Taiwan. Question number 23. FDI limit in defense sector in India is now how much percent? So recently the FDI was increased and it is now at what percent? Options are 49, 75, 51, 74, 100. Comment the correct answer fast. 5 seconds have passed. Time is running. Fast, come on. And the correct answer is option number D, 74%. Now earlier it was 49% and it is now 74%. And which is the world's largest importer of arms? India is at fourth of due to a CIPRI report. CIPRI is Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, which is headquartered in Stockholm, the capital of Sweden. So that has released the fact that India is second biggest arm importer and 23rd on exporter list. So to increase India's rank from 23rd to in single digit, India has opened the defense sector for foreign companies also. So if Rafale and Dassault want Boeing, Lockheed Martin, they can come to India and manufacture their products in India also. Earlier there were huge restrictions which has been uplifted. So yes, that's a big structural shift in the Indian defense sector. So 74% is the correct answer. Let's move to the question number 24. Kisan Vikas Patra scheme, a small saving scheme. Basically this is like PPF and KVP. So interest rate for fiscal year 2020-21 is, options are 7.6, 6.7, 6.9, 7.9 and nota. So comment the correct answer fast. 5 seconds have already passed. This video is getting a bit longer, so I apologize for that. I thought that this video will be not so long, but I can't do a lot in that. Time is up and the correct answer is option number D, 6.9%. So KVP account can be opened with a minimum initial deposit of Rs 1000. First fact, minimum initial deposit 1000 rupees. Further the denomination can be in 1000, 5000 or 10,000 or 50,000. So 4 denominations, 1000, 5000, 10,000 and 50,000. So basically, and there is no maximum limit on KVP investment. 30 month is the minimum withdrawal period. So 2.5 years. Before that you can't withdraw the money. And 124 month scheme this is. So in 124 months you will get your paisa double. So your money will be doubled after 124 months. And one can invest an amount in the multiple of 100 rupees only. So this much fact you get to know from Kisan Vikas Patra, and you can get it from any post office near your town or village. Question number 25. Which organization won Nobel Prize for Peace in 2020? So Nobel Prize is very important. You can expect 1 mark from Nobel Prize also. So WHO, WFP, IMF, FAO, WLO. Which organization won Nobel Prize for Peace in 2020? The correct answer is, you have got 5-10 seconds. Comment the correct answer fast. Come on. 5 seconds have passed. So time is up. The correct answer is option B, WFP, World Food Program. So this is basically run by food organization which is headquartered in Rome, Italy, FAO. And WFP is a combined operation by UN and FAO. So of WFP is also headquartered in Rome, Italy. FAO is also headquartered in Rome, Italy. Okay. And Food and Agriculture Organization is the full form of FAO, FAO, FAO. And WFP is World Food Program. So World Food Program has also done good work in India. ILO headquarters is in Geneva, International Labour Organization. ICJ, International Court of Justice, is in The Hague, the capital, basically a city in Netherlands or Holland. Okay, so the capital of Netherlands is Amsterdam. So that's all you gain from this particular slide. So that was all 25 questions. Now I have never done a 75-minute video. So after this, having 2 liters of water, still I'm not getting, means my breath is getting over. But yeah, you have the exam day after tomorrow, so I assume that I have given you too much of knowledge from this video, and I easily assume that you will get at least 5 marks due to this video day after tomorrow. And here are Nobel Prize laureates winners. So for medicine, who was the winner? Alter, Houghton and Rice. So remember the keyword Rice, Alter, medicine. Okay, so Rice and Alter is medicine. For what? Hepatitis C virus. So these are the keywords. Physics, Rose, Ghez, Genzel. So for physics, why? Black hole formation and to discover the supermassive compact object at the center of galaxy. So black hole physics, Ghez, Genzel, Rose. Hepatitis C, medicine, Rice, Houghton, Alter. Chemistry, discovery the method of genome editing. Genome, chemistry, Doudna, Carpenter. Okay, just remember the keywords. Immanuel Carpenter. Literature, for poetic with voice with austere beauty makes individual existence universal. I don't know what's here, literature, but yeah, this is a Swedish woman, I think, Louise Gluck. Peace, WFP, already mentioned, to remove the hunger from the world. Economic science, Paul Milgrom and Wilson. Grom and Wilson for auction theory and invention of new auction formats. So that's all about Nobel Prize and laureates. Okay, so still our PDF is there. You can find the link in the live chat as well as in the comment box, and you can see the feedback also over here. Last year this guy cleared SBI GA due to our PDF only. He got more than 30+ marks. And apart from that, You can see more reviews as well as scorecard also over here. So this guy was the topper last year in SBI. He got very good rank and he got around 37 marks in GA. So you have to do at least good in 2 sections. Okay, so to get 110 marks you have to go do good in at least 2 sections. Okay, so try to target 30 plus marks in at least 2 sections, then only you can reach to 110 mark. If you are not from states like Gujarat, Maharashtra and Andaman Nicobar, where the cutoff will be 80-90 marks. So moving forward, why should you opt for lit? So time is very less, but still you can trust our PDF and go for it, and you will easily score 30 plus marks going through our PDF, and that is helpful for RB assistant, PFRD, RRB PO clerk, IBPS PO clerk, SEBI grade A as well. So go for it, don't think twice. And again, you can see many reviews and feedbacks. You can check that on the internet also. If you have any doubt, just mail us at hi@litmode.in. And RBI grade B full course is already running. RBI grade B SEBI grade F combo course is also running. Here you will get descriptive courses inclusive. So nobody in the market gives descriptive courses inclusive. So here you will get descriptive courses also, mock test also, videos, PDF, quizzes, everything. So just go for it. After the SBI clerk exam, if you are going to target a big job, then you should target RBI grade B or SEBI grade A, because if this job is going to give you 1 lakh per month, why settle with a 25,000 per month job? Getting my point? So just target it, and if you are at age 21 or 27, doesn't matter, just go for it, now or never. Moving forward, these are the content which you will get in RBI grade B course. It's ESI, finance management, and GA GK for SEBI, PFID, RBI is also running, descriptive. That's all, everything at a very affordable cost, and the price is for limited period. Price may go up also in the further time. And after that, you can also see over here the English descriptive course is also running, and this GK course is running for RRB, SBI and IBPS. Apart from that, IBPS PO RRB clerk course also running. So you can go and check out whatever you like. You can go and just enjoy that course. Moving forward, yeah, these were the practice questions. So Dinesh Karat, Charanjit, Surinder Atra, Asima Goel, Verma, Bhide, 4 Deputy Governor, Rao, Patra, Kanungo, Jan. Now I think you are master of all this. So now I am going to finish this video. If you liked my effort, do like the video. You can't help me in drinking water, but yeah, you can help me with liking the button. And the best reward I will get when all of you will come on 31st of October and say that yes, we are getting 30 marks in SBI clerk. And if you have any doubt regarding any of our PDFs, quizzes, courses, so mail us at hi@litmode.in. Go to our website also and check our courses, and you can check the description for other details also. So do like the video to motivate me, and my biggest motivation will be on 31st of October when you will perform good in the exam. And check description for other courses detail. Do share this video with all of your friends in Telegram, WhatsApp, Facebook, wherever you are present. Apart from that, our presence is across social media, so do connect with us at all those social medias. So thank you for watching the video, and God bless you all on 31st of October. And I will also put a strategy video on how to handle the last minute pressure, 11th hour adrenaline rush. So if you want to watch this video, just subscribe and ring the bell so that you get the direct notification whenever we upload the SBI final strategy, 11th hour strategy for SBI junior associate. You have to reach from 20 lakh to 9,000. You are in 1.5 lakh pool. You have done good in QRE, in pre, you have got 70 plus marks. Now what you have to do, you have to just clear mains, and clearing mains is not a big task. You are already prepared for GA due to our material. So you have to just do good, just gain confidence, just stay confident. Okay, so I will guide all those things after having my lunch. And thank you for watching the video. God bless you all again, and do check out our courses after the SBI exam. And you are capable of more than you know, so just trust yourself. Don't listen what other people are saying, what your family is saying, what your friends are saying, what your relatives are saying. Just have trust on yourself. Good luck, and God bless you all.